Yo, yo, what's up, my people? This is Johnny Live. My name is Johnny, and this is Johnny Live. How's everybody doing this evening? We're going to get started here in just a little bit. I want to say thank you to all those people who are going to tap in. Also, I want to thank everybody who's going to leave their comments even after the show. So we're going to get started here in just a second. We're going to be streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. So you can catch them on any platform. Make sure that if you're on YouTube right now, make sure that you are subscribing to our page. If you're on Facebook, make sure you follow, like, and comment, because we can't see the comments. We'll put something up here on the screen. If you're on Instagram, make sure you like and follow as well. Yeah. I hope y'all like the format. I'm trying to bring this dope format to y'all. Give us a few seconds, we'll get started here. We got some really good things to talk about today. A really good topic. I know I always say that, but the topic keep getting better and better. Yeah. All over the web. What we're going to talk about today. We're going to get to the true meaning, we're going to get to the truth of what it really means to ban TikTok. Are they really banning TikTok? We're going to find out here in just a second. All right, y'all, let's get it started. Make sure y'all sharing this. Let your friends know we are live on the air. My name is Johnny, and this is the Johnny Show. Now, a lot of you have been hearing a lot about TikTok. And yes, it's true. The House just passed a bill on TikTok. And even in the last administration, they were going to ban TikTok altogether. So a lot of y'all ask, or maybe asking, why? What's up with TikTok? I like it. I like watching the videos. I love me some TikTok. I get up in the morning, I watch TikTok, I do my videos. What is so harmful about TikTok? Well, before we get into why they're banning it, there's a few things that I do know about TikTok. For one, a lot of y'all may not know, but the brain is not set up to watch clips of videos like that randomly. Let me say that again. Your brain is not set up it's not wired to watch clips and videos like that randomly. Like, you're not supposed to be focused on a cat one moment, and then the next moment you're focused on somebody dancing, then the next moment you're focused on somebody cooking food. Like, that's way too much for the brain to handle. And China knows that. I do believe that TikTok is banned in China. They don't even watch TikTok. They don't let their kids expose their kids to TikTok because it interrupts the brain in so many ways. 15-second clips, minute, 30-second clips of things, and then you're switching on something else. That's too much for the brain to handle. This can bring depression and stress, and we talk about this a lot, depression and stress. If you notice, like lately, like, man, you don't feel like 100%, you feel stressed out and things like that, I bet you it has a lot to do with TikTok, and not only TikTok, Facebook. Some of these social media platforms, one of their deep, dark secrets is that they reprogram your mind in a negative way. So as you think that you're watching these videos, some are getting you happy, some are getting you sad, and things like that, it's stressing a lot of us out. It's definitely stressing the brain out a lot. Never before, no other generation has to deal with this type of change in pattern as far as watching clips and videos. We're the first generation was having this approach. Like, you had YouTube before, but YouTube was a minute plus videos that you could watch and focus on. TikTok and things like Snapchat are only like seconds videos. So we don't know what the outcome is. Like in the future, we don't have enough research to see what that's going to do to us long term. I know what it's doing to you short term. A lot of y'all is stressing y'all out. A lot of y'all is depressing y'all short term. So we don't know what it's going to do long term, though. The research hasn't been out there when come in and warn you. Now, some of y'all thinking, well, man, the house is really picking on TikTok, and why? I guarantee you that they know some stuff that we don't know, that we have no clue what they know. They know that it needs to be stopped. They know that it needs to be reorganized. So one of the things that they say that it is doing, and this is something where I don't believe, okay? They're saying that they're banning it because it's collecting a lot of information on us. And it's from China. Well, guess what? Temu is a China company. And if you shop Temu, getting them good bargain deals, they also are collecting a lot of information from you. So why not ban Temu? See, something's not right here. For whatever reason, they want to ban TikTok and not Temu. So something's not right, but they're just not telling us. But what they do know, that it needs to be gone. It needs to be reconstructed. So the question we're going to ask tonight, are they actually trying to ban TikTok? Because from what I understand, that it's not an actual ban. They're not trying to ban TikTok. They're just trying to sell it to another company. A company that has nothing to do with China, because they feel like right now, China can just buy the information at will. So what we're going to do is we're going to watch a video, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about it. And I want to ask y'all, while we watch this video, I want to ask y'all, how do y'all feel about them banning TikTok? I know a lot of people are starting to make a big name off of TikTok. And some people, I think, are getting paid from it. So how do y'all feel about them taking away TikTok if that's going to be the case? Let's watch this video, and I want y'all to tell me what y'all think.
Move forward with legislation that could potentially ban TikTok, China is warning of repercussions. As we've been reporting, the House has passed a bill that would
Okay, we back. Okay, we're gonna watch this video. Sorry about that, y'all. We're gonna watch this video. Technical difficulties, but I'm on it. Y'all see how quick I caught that? Your boys own it. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna watch this video, and I want y'all to tell me what y'all think.
Move forward with legislation that could potentially ban TikTok, China is warning of repercussions. As we've been reporting, the House has passed a bill that would require TikTok, Chinese parent company, ByteDance to sell the app or face a nationwide ban. Ahead of Wednesday's vote, a spokesman for China's foreign ministry accused the U.S. of, quote, bullying TikTok's CEO is also pushing back, saying a ban will hurt the economy.
This bill gives more power to a handful of other social media companies. It will also take billions of dollars out of the pockets of creators and small businesses. It will put more than 300,000 American jobs at risk, and it will take away your TikTok.
And for more, let's bring in CBS News senior foreign correspondent Elizabeth Palmer in Beijing. Liz, China says this TikTok bill could backfire on the U.S. Sounds like a threat.
It sure could be interpreted that way. And everybody is waiting to see if there's going to be another round. How could it come back and bite America? Well, you have to understand that there are a lot of American companies here whose devices are gathering information on Chinese consumers and users. So let's take a crazy example. Tesla, for example, with the cars are vacuuming up all kinds of information about the drivers and where they go and so on. It's conceivable that the Chinese...
Tim said that makes sense, ban Temu. Right, so they're not banning Temu, so something's not right, y'all. But let's take a look at the video. Thanks, Tim. I'm going to put your comment up here in a second.
His government could go, we don't trust Tesla with that information unless it belongs to Chinese owners, and Tesla has to divest its Chinese holdings. This is how trade wars start, and we may be looking at the opening round.
Indeed, and other massive companies like Apple depend on the Chinese market. ByteDance says there is no evidence that it's sharing data. So where's the U.S. getting this?
Well, fundamentally, it's a lack of trust. There is no solid evidence. But many countries have ordered their government employees and government ministers and so on to not have TikTok on government phones because software engineers say the app can access things like calendars and contacts. And some critics have said if China wanted to, it could order ByteDance to share that information with the Chinese state under the national security law. Now, ByteDance has said they've never asked, and even if they did, ByteDance would refuse. But that is the concern. And you have to say that TikTok's been a little sloppy with its data management. To cite one famous case, a couple of employees in the U.S. had dipped into that confidential data in order to spy on journalists. So in this instance, TikTok ByteDance hasn't helped itself, although it's trying very hard to clean up its act.
And TikTok's in the headlines, but it's not the only Chinese-owned device that collects American user data. Are there more fights looming?
Oh boy, I think the big one coming up is over cars. President Biden has seen it coming, and he's already ordered a probe into how much information Chinese cars could collect when they hit the American market. The Chinese, especially electrical vehicle manufacturers, are really keen to get into the American market in a big way. And they collect all kinds of data. I was driving one of the new ones yesterday, and it even has voice-activated controls that allow you to ask it to pick restaurants for you and stuff like that. I mean, these things are really smartphones on wheels. And I think we're going to see a big fight over that if indeed the Chinese do come into the American market big time. The silver lining could be that in the end, we get better data protection for all of us against all the devices and websites that are vacuuming up our data at the moment. And in a lot of instances, we just don't know. So maybe this is progress of a weird kind, John.
Liz Palmer, so wonderful to see you there in Beijing. Thank you, Liz. For more analysis, let's bring in Chris Krebs. He's the former director of the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, also known as CISA.
So, do y'all think they're going to ban TikTok? We're going to have to see, y'all, because more and more it looks like they are trying to ban TikTok. Let's watch a little bit more of this, and I want to bring y'all something else on for y'all to take a look at.
Currently, the Chief Public Policy Officer at SentinelOne, a cybersecurity company. Good to be with you again, Chris. Lawmakers are concerned about China having access to our data, but would a ban make a difference at this point? Doesn't China already have our data? And based on what they're doing, you know, that is being watched by the spies, aren't they trying to get it through other methods?
Well, believe me, they are trying every effort every approach they possibly can to collect information on us users here in the U.S., but also government officials and what our companies may have intellectual property-wise. But data collection, storage, and analysis is just one aspect, I think, of what the U.S. Congress and the national security community writ large are worried about. There's also the element of the algorithm itself and the way that can be influenced by the CCP, whether it's to surface information or suppress it. And that is a grave concern, I think, amongst many on the Hill and in the national security community, particularly with the 2024 election coming up and how we already have evidence, as reported in this week's intelligence community assessment on worldwide threats, where a Chinese proxy and a propaganda arm attempted to influence the 2022 election. So we have evidence. They've done it before. So this is not theoretical. This is a here and now issue.
And Chris, you've had real world experience with this. When we talk about influencing the elections, give people a sense of the kinds of things that can happen and the mischief that can be made by just amping up certain debates that happen in America that is like, you know, throwing a match onto the gasoline on the floor.
John, I remember the conversation you and I first had about this back in 2019. That's absolutely right. You know, we're talking basically about propaganda here. And look, propaganda sometimes can just be the form of opposition research, which is standard political fare. But what the Chinese, what the Russians, the Iranians, and others have done is they're inserting themselves into the middle of domestic political discourse, and they're amplifying both sides of the contest and the discourse to inflame tensions and ultimately put us at each other's throats for their own, ultimate objectives and outcomes. And look,
that's one huge thing, y'all. TikTok has a lot of employees here in Peoria. They have a lot of employees here in America. So that's one thing that is going to definitely be disrupted by a ban of TikTok. A lot of jobs are going to be lost. So is that something that we want in the name of security, homeland security? I remember they used to say we got to give up certain things to get things. So this might be one of the things that we have to give up in order to keep those jobs, is our security. Is that worth it? Is a TikTok ban worth it? Are they jobs worth it for them to keep their jobs, to keep TikTok going? Are your videos, your hot videos, worth it for them to be able to spy on us? I know some artists have really built their careers on TikTok. Starlip, what's her name? Lip Scar. She really made a career, is making a career on TikTok. Like, you don't have to go through the regular ranks to make it on TikTok or in the music industry anymore. You can go through TikTok, you can go to Instagram, you can go to Facebook. So let's watch a little bit more, and we'll switch gears.
It may not be that they want any one individual politician or candidate to win the election, just the fact that tensions are so heated and that we're at each other here and now is enough for them, I think, to claim success.
We asked our Liz Palmer about this question of being bullied and a possible way in which China could retaliate, officials saying it could come back to bite the United States. What does that make you think of when you think of a possible retaliation? Well,
you know, look, they already have banned inside China U.S. social media apps. TikTok itself, in the instance that we see it, is not allowed inside China. There are other regulations and laws. The Personal Information Protection Law, for instance, does control the flow of Chinese citizen information and how it can be stored and used, particularly when you talk about cross-border data flows. So a lot of this, I think, is just posturing, and it will ultimately kind of fizzle out. I do think that some of the broader efforts by TikTok to lobby the U.S. Congress with the prompt that says, hey, enter in your zip code and we'll tell you who your congressperson is and you can reach out. That may ultimately backfire because I think it does show the potential influence that the platform has over the 170 million plus users here in the US.
Right. You're worried about us weaponizing it? We'll show you how we weaponize it. Last question, Chris. How would a ban be implemented, and would it be particularly tricky, or would it be easier?
That's the question. I think that is what there will be a great deal of litigation over. So the first step is the divestiture, and the requirement is that that ByteDance, the parent company, has to divest, and that could be sold to any of the other tech companies here in the United States. If they do not do that in the 6-month period, then it falls on the App Store owners and operators, Google and Apple, and it would be up to them to kick them out, pull them out of their App Store. And what that means is that you couldn't download it. Now, if you already have it on your device, you've got it and you can use it, but you can't download new versions going forward, and you can't update it. So there could be significant security vulnerabilities there. I think that's probably another element of potential litigation down the pike if this does pass the Senate, which is no sure thing right now.
Former CISA Director Chris Krebs. Thanks as always, Chris.
So, what do y'all think about that? Do y'all think they're gonna ban TikTok? I don't know, y'all. I think it's coming. It looks like it's coming. So we're going to definitely take a look and pay attention to that. We're gonna watch one more video, y'all. I want y'all to tell me what y'all think. They are on a ban. They are on the verge of canceling TikTok. Already passed in the House. Let's see. Thank you, Tim, for tapping in. Appreciate you. We're gonna watch this video here real quick. This is Easter time. We gotta get it in.
Back then they ain't had no money. Now I keep it jumping like the Easter bunny. Yeah, like the Easter bunny. Like the Easter bunny. Back then they used to look at me funny. Now I keep it jumping like the Easter bunny.
Yeah, okay. Let me see here, y'all. I don't know if I can pull this video up. So anyway, I need y'all to give me y'all thoughts. What do y'all think? There it is. Let's see. We'll try it one more time because I want y'all to see this video. As I pull this up, y'all let me know what y'all think. Okay, here we go. Watch this.
Tic tac toe. A winner. A winner.
Got it. All right. Former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi isn't the only member of Congress who thinks a possible TikTok ban in the United States would actually make the social media platform better. Now, the House overwhelmingly passed legislation today that could eventually lead to app stores banning TikTok, with 352 lawmakers voting in favor and only 65 voting against the bill. And while everyone loses their minds over this for various reasons, understand that the legislation will likely fail in the Senate. More on that later. But first, we should get into the details on what the House just passed and later get into the moneyed interest behind this agenda. Here's what lawmakers have been allegedly concerned about even before President Joe Biden came into office.
Here's the crux of the debate. TikTok's U.S. headquarters is in California, but it is controlled by a larger company, ByteDance, headquartered in Beijing. ByteDance also owns a separate but parallel Chinese version of TikTok called Douyin. The Communist Party has a small stake in that and a big voice, with a Communist Party official sitting on the board. A ByteDance whistleblower has charged that the Communist Party uses Douyin for spying on protesters and others. The concern is that there's a path for the Communist Party to access U.S. data. TikTok claims no, that it has walled off U.S. data.
So, in response to those concerns, the House finally succeeded in passing a bill that would force ByteDance to sell TikTok to a non-Chinese company. If they fail to do so, that's when a ban would theoretically kick in. Now,
let me break that down. Basically, what they're saying, you know how like in the 60s, to like where we as black folks, like when we united, like it was a real problem for America when black folks united against something. So this company ByteDance, they're spying and watching for certain things that flare up. If something like the George Floyd thing happened again, they would be the first ones on the scene sending certain images to get us riled up again. Because honestly, we as black folks, we can't do that on our own anymore. Like it would take a lot for us to unite like that and use social media for what it's for. They know that social media is powerful, even TikTok. Like I said before, there are people who are making it famous off of TikTok without having to go through the normal music industry. That's how powerful it is. So other countries understand that. So if it was a situation come like that again, they could use TikTok to start riots everywhere. It's fun, it's cute, but it can also be used in a dark way. They can use TikTok to get teenagers to commit suicide. Some of those suicidal things and contests may not even be coming from America. They may be coming from China. They already know that certain things, certain images at certain times can make us depressed as a people. So in a sense, they're using TikTok against us. They're giving us everything we want. It's like Temu. They're giving us everything we want. Everything you can imagine, everything that you could desire. Here, have it, love this, love us. And then they're gonna turn it on us. And that, I think, is the reason why they are trying to ban it. They are trying to ban it. That's the reason why. Because they know that these communist people are going to eventually use it against us. It's cute now. It's disrupting American way of life right now because it's uniting people. Injustice happened over here in California. We know about it here in Peoria. Because of what? Because of TikTok. Well, before, we had no idea what went over in California. This kid got shot in the street. This woman is missing. We had no idea. This TikTok it weaves everything together like nothing else. Like YouTube, you have to go search for a video. It's not gonna just pop into your feed in 15 seconds and teach you about something that's happening over here in the other side of the world or other side of the country. Where TikTok will. That's powerful. That's power. Somebody like Tupac, to be able to speak to a lot of people was power. Malcolm X had power. That's why these people had to be eliminated, because they had too much power. We're gonna watch the rest of this and then we're gonna get out of here, y'all.
according to the Washington Post, the House measure explicitly targets TikTok and its parent company while giving the federal government a new mechanism to ban apps with ties to nations viewed as foreign adversaries. If ByteDance declined to spin off TikTok within 6 months, the bill would require App Store providers to stop carrying the platform, which could effectively shutter its US operations. By the way, does anyone else find it kind of hilarious that we're hyper focused on banning this social media site or app when a lot of our businesses are still exploiting labor in China? Like, we're treating China as an adversary while still exploiting their labor. Just something to keep in mind. But anyway, there was a ton of trial and error on the path to where we are today. But a bipartisan group of politicians were apparently reinvigorated by President Biden, never thought I'd say that, declaring that he would sign a TikTok ban into law if a bill ever made its way to his desk. So Representatives Mike Gallagher, a Republican from Wisconsin, and Raja Krishnamurthy, who's a Democrat from Illinois, they're the leaders of the Select Committee on China. They previously introduced another bill targeting TikTok, which was stymied amid constitutional concerns.
If they can't sell off TikTok, they're gonna eventually sell it off. They're gonna eventually ban it because too much power. And we are not ready. America, the forces that be, are not ready to combat against that power, especially give it over to another country. It's one thing for Black folks to have that power, but to give it over to another country that don't like us, that's like a nuclear weapon. TikTok is like a nuclear weapon sitting, ready to be launched. So we're gonna leave it at that, y'all. I want at least have y'all comments. I want y'all to leave your comments if you have comments. We'll definitely get to them. Shout out to Tim for tapping in. And once again, if you're on YouTube, make sure that you are subscribing to my channel. If you're on Instagram, make sure you're liking and following, as well as with Facebook. So with that, we're gonna be out of here. I got a few things I gotta do set up for this huge podcast we got later on in the week. I think it's Friday. We got some major guests coming on. And I want to give a shout out to Kyle Green, World Bishindu Federation Group. If you're not a member of that, make sure you tap in and check that out. They are doing big things, y'all. It's a corporation that is really getting big. I am on there. I know War Muhammad is on there, but they got people from all over the world on that platform. So shout out to Kyle. Some really popular people, movie stars on that platform, right? So it's something that's becoming big and it's here in Peoria. So if you want to be a part of something big, learn about self-defense, just be a part of the karate community, tap in with my boy Kyle. I'll leave his information. Matter of fact, I'm gonna type it here. Check him out on Facebook. There it is, right there, Kyle Green. Check him out. Check him out on Facebook. And he's doing some really big things, y'all. Link up with his site. Y'all can link up with me with the oil. You know, we got the beard oil. Y'all want a nice looking beard? Tap in with me for the beard oil. We even got samples right now. So, smells really good, y'all. That smells good. So we got beard oil and we got body lotion, my new line product, body lotion. So it's doing really good as well. So y'all tap in with me. And with that being said, we'll get out of here. Thank y'all for watching. My name is Johnny, and this is the Johnny Live Show. We out.